All right, we're going to go to Colorado via CBS News. Disabled Colorado grandmother. Wow, grandma's getting the short end of the stick this week.
On
This
the
is
ropes.
not good. We fucking them. Damn. Disabled Colorado grandmother fights back after notoriously unreliable drug test finds cocaine in her purse. Holly Bennett doesn't remember the ambulance that
Holly Bennett. By the way, another amazing old lady name.
Holly Bennett. Holly.
She was hot back in the day.
Yeah, Holly. Oh, come on, bro. I'm just trying to see if Holly Bennett would go to the Sadie Hawkins dance. I heard there's not going to be any colors there. We can go to the ice cream social. They're doing some sort of, I don't fucking know. Sorry. They're all dancing a jig.
Yeah, John Travolta, cigarette.
Yeah, she has the type of name that Trump wants to go back to the like that era when that name was popping.
Yeah.
But Holly Bennett doesn't remember the ambulance that rushed her to a Colorado hospital in septic shock, or the MRI that showed her back was riddled with abscesses, or the emergency surgery that saved her life. All she remembers is waking up to a Boulder police officer standing in her hospital room.
Literal nightmare.
Yeah,
dude.
just like,
already she's going through a nightmare, right? Health emergency.
Yeah. Am I in hell? Yes.
Wakes
Yes, you
up,
are, Miss Holly.
not to your loved ones, to a fucking cop with a baggie and a nightstick.
Well. Finally waking up from that bender.
Finally, you're conscious. I can't knock you unconscious if you're not conscious. Finally.
And he says, I'm giving you a ticket for possession of cocaine. I said, cocaine? Cocaine. I don't do cocaine. And he said, well, that's what was in your purse. Bennett says the hospital found a prescription drug crushed in her purse and turned it over to police, who, using what's known as a colorimetric field test, I might have pronounced that wrong, determined if it was cocaine. The Boulder District Attorney's Office offered Bennett diversion if she pleaded guilty to possession. She refused. That's real. I don't know what diversion is, but it sounds like maybe a lesser punishment.
Some sort of lesser punishment.
Context clues, gonna have to use those here. I don't want to lie, she said. Instead, she hired attorney Noah Stout to represent her. What a real ass grandma. Yo, old people, sometimes
it's wrong to lie.
Yeah, literally that. They stick to their constitution might be weak.
Yeah,
but they
stick to their morals.
Yeah,
I don't lie, and I'll never dance with a
grandma.
colored.
They're going to gang rape. You need to lie, okay? No. I don't want to lie, she said. Instead, she hired attorney Noah Stout to represent her. The prosecutor said, this is pretty cut and dry, said Stout. He says the prosecutor refused to retest the substance despite research showing colorimetric drug tests have a false positive rate of nearly 40%.
Crazy.
Sugar,
crazy.
That's how do those
should be illegal to use if you're a cop.
So you mean they don't work?
Yeah.
If a pregnancy test had only a 60% not a 60% failure rate, but like a 60%,
40% false positive.
Yeah, that's cool.
That would not be on the shelves.
That literally,
let alone that false positive caused you to go to fucking jail.
That is literally nuts.
But again, it shows, and this is not like, this is a known thing that cops have used these faulty drug tests, know they're faulty drug tests, still use them. Prosecutors still accept them. We know, and again, it goes back to like punishment and bureaucracy. Yeah. Like, this is not a justice system. This is a punishment system. Yeah. They know what their goals are. They're not justice, they're punishment.
And you think more care would be taken when playing with something as sensitive as people's lives, the most serious thing that you could affect, which is throwing somebody in jail and just completely traumatized. It's a trauma machine immediately. Yeah. As soon as a cop comes near you, you're about to experience, if you have to engage with the cops or courts, you're about to, you want to talk about stress, your nervous system goes into a wreck. It's straight up trauma from the beginning. So you would think they put a little bit more care and double check before they fundamentally warp someone's life, but they don't. The Department of Justice has warned.
So wait.
Oh, sorry. Sugar, vitamins, even bird feces has tested positive for illegal drugs, resulting in an estimated 30,000 people being wrongfully charged each year.
How do we allow this to continue? Sorry, I won't interrupt again, but it's just insane.
30,000 people is crazy.
A year, and we keep continuing this. What?
That's
make this shit illegal.
Is that not an epidemic? A fucking pandemic or some shit? Like, that's like That's crazy. Your system has a major flaw in it.
Yeah.
A very obvious one. The Department of Justice has warned the test should not be used as a basis for an arrest and that a second lab test should be used to confirm the results. But according to the University of Pennsylvania, Carey Law School, 90% of prosecutors accept guilty pleas without any follow-up testing
Yep.
with a 40% false positive rate. That is crazy.
Bro.
That's
why we say fuck prosecutors, dude. It's like, I know obviously not every prosecutor is going to be like in the same realm of a police officer general mentality.
Sure.
But overall, they're
Yeah.
working hand in step with the cops. They got the same goals, punishment.
When you're standing in front of law enforcement, then they shake something and they're like, you have it. People don't know how they can fight that. And so they're just taking deals, said Rep. Jennifer Bacon. She and State Rep. Lindsey Gilchrist are hoping to change that with a bill that requires law enforcement who use the test to issue a ticket instead of making an arrest in misdemeanor cases, and advises people before they make a plea deal in the felony case or the test errors rate, of the test errors rate. So informing people, telling them that, like, yes, you got you were tested positive for cocaine, but also if people
This test is bullshit and lies.
40% false positive. You'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
let me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my own thing. Nah,
yeah.
man, that's bird shit.
Yeah.
Defendants would also have a right to request a second test by a lab. All those months of paying for an attorney and the stress of that, it's just not fair, said Gilchrist. So we just wanted to make sure that it's not that case anymore in Colorado. Bennett testified in favor of the bill. I'm sure she did. I want people to know that they can fight it. They should be able to demand a retest without having to hire a lawyer. Stout said Bennett got a second test only after she agreed to pay for it. He says it showed the substance in her purse was prescribed medicine, not cocaine.
Also, fuck the person in the hospital who reported the cops
Yeah.
after finding a powdered substance in an old lady.
Bro, come on.
Let the old, like, even if why can't old ladies do cocaine?
That's crazy that you snitching on an old lady.
Let an
I'll
old
be
lady do
real.
cocaine.
I know I'm a little bit more flexible as a person. I don't give a fuck if you have a bag of cocaine.
No matter the age.
I don't care.
Doesn't affect me.
Do I need to know if I'm a doctor? Do I need to know was the substance you took cocaine? Sure, that makes sense. Do I need to now inform police? What happened to the Hippocratic Oath, bro?
Yeah, it's true.
Ain't that something?
More like the Hippocratic Oath.
Yeah, fucking
Damn.
cook their ass, bro.
Thank you.
Dumbass doctors, stupid ass.
Legalize cocaine for old ladies. Let's start.
yeah.
I think the way we have it set up in the beginning of the life makes sense. Like, okay, you're under 21, you can't drink. But then you're over 21, you can drink. But then you're 60, you could do whatever the hell. You could do cocaine, heroin.
Once you hit retirement age, which is, we should lower it. You should be able to ball the fuck out. Heroin,
and once you're 100, you should be allowed to kill one person.
That is of the billionaire
earned
class.
We'll add some stipulations. Yeah.
It has to be another 100.
Another 100. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Okay, this solves the population control. But, okay, let me finish this. Me and Joff are not ideas people, guys.
Yeah.
Again, this episode.
Remember, this is a comedy podcast.
Oh, but that's the story.
That's the story. Shout out to grandmas everywhere.
Yeah.
All the grandmas listening.